Hello everyone and welcome to Alaska. Today I'm going to show you this pretty cool kayak I bought in Anchorage. It's custom built, but we all know what that means. All it really means is that it's DIY, and it is a perfect example of that. So what we got here is a Honda GC 160. And it's like a GX 160, except I believe, without knowing any more specifics, it's mainly just that difference with a vertical shaft and an overhead cam. Now, the Predator 212 and everything else like it, including the GX 200, GX 160, those are push rod engines with a roughly 45-degree piston, I believe. Every mini bike engine is like that, and you've seen everything like that on this channel if you have been watching. But of course, this overhead cam Honda is a vertical shaft, so it's pretty cool. Everything here is how it should be, roughly. Being a DIY build, it's interesting how it's done. It looks like the brackets holding the engine on there are pretty much solid. You know, I hadn't had any problems so far. The engine mounts look like they would fit 200 Predator 212 or any of the GX 200, basically 200cc small blocks that you would roughly find on every 200cc mini bike out there. Now, does it mean I could put one on this? Probably. I don't necessarily see anything too obvious. Might be kinked over to the side too much. The vertical shaft right in the center makes sense in this case. Now, if you haven't noticed already, what we have in here is a 30 series torque converter clutch. And it looks like it's from a Manco. The belt, despite needing probably replacing somewhat soon, is also a Manco. I don't know. I know that, of course, the driven pulley down here, that is a pretty standard model here. And that goes to the propeller on the back. And actually, this is a little custom built housing that looks like it's been somewhat epoxied here. And it does a pretty good job of keeping the water out. It has a little DIY bilge pump, so you can basically pump the water out manually like so. It works pretty well. The starting procedure is a little too cumbersome. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just replacing this whole starter housing with something fresh aftermarket or something like that, because this one, obviously what happened is that this cable has been run a little too much through the plastic. So then someone, I don't know if it was the previous owner or the guy who built it, I'm the third guy who has this kayak at this point, put in this little threaded piece right here that acts as something for that metal cable to braided cable to run on, basically. So of course this means it's designed for you to be able to start it from the driving position, we'll say, a little more easily. The only problem is it doesn't retract very well. So every time you pull it and it doesn't start, it's annoying to have to kind of put this cable back in, and it has some spots where it's been fraying out. So probably just want to improve this or simplify it, be able to pull it. The engine doesn't stall out that easily, so I'm kind of not worried about something like that. And of course, you have a paddle. That's how you steer this thing. I find it interesting how you get one of these things started. Because what you're doing here is it basically has a neutral idle because it's a go-kart clutch, and then you rev it up, of course, and it engages the prop. It works better than at least I thought it would. You have your throttle here, and this works as a kill switch, because on the GC, there's a throttle and kill switch built into the same mechanism, where if you pump it down low enough, it ends up killing the engine, except it needs to be adjusted on this one. So I ended up just kind of letting the engine throttle down so low that it stalls out for now. We're going to see how well this thing starts right now. One good pull with the choke on, and if it had a smoother pulling mechanism or a smoother pull start mechanism, it would probably start first pull more often, but it probably won't. I'm just going ahead and saying now. Yeah, so I have the throttle you know, kind of pushed up. And of course I have it on a plank of wood here, or a little 2x4 basically, just because I know that propeller is going to spin because of where I have that throttle set, because it really helps get the engine going. When the throttle is set up maybe around halfway, it really does help the engine get going. But of course, as you can see, I'm pulling that cable back in because it's too sticky and frayed to do it that easily on its own, which makes it really annoying. And I'm gonna have to improve that because it's gonna get too annoying. And I plan on running this thing on more water as I have it. And that was choke off. Two pulls. The Honda always wants to run. There is that that I got on my side. Now the cool thing about this is that because it's a kayak, you always have the paddle, and so there's really no possible machine that I could think of, boat-wise at least, that could be more dependable and reliable than this thing. The Honda motor and the paddle on a kayak that you're meant to paddle anyway. So back here, once I get that throttle going, on the shaft, so then you didn't have to use any clutch system. But it's kind of nice being able to keep that engine running while having the clutch and not having to turn it off just to shut the prop off. That's very nice and useful. So no, this isn't necessarily the peaceful kayaking that you'd expect, but it's very fun regardless. This does produce drag. It really is not the most elegant way to turn this thing. A rudder system would be much better if it was strong enough to handle the kind of speeds that it would be taking. I'm not sure like a typical store-bought kayak rudder would be strong enough, because they're typically really light duty and kind of flimsy even. Now I don't really make YouTube videos about boats, but I have been around boats most of my life, so even though I don't know a lot of terminology, I generally know how some things behave. So a rudder that is strong enough to handle the motor speeds on this thing would be pretty cool. Foot operated, even better, but I don't necessarily need that. There are lots of minnows in this lake, as well as leeches. Extremely shallow water. That's the paddle, and then it goes in, and then there's the bottom there. Like not even a foot deep, but the kayak handles it well. So that is the Honda-powered kayak that I bought on Marketplace. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. At least I did. Definitely running this thing around. It's pretty darn cool in my opinion, at least. I think I'll definitely have to make some more videos featuring this guy right here. It's pretty cool, although perhaps definitely quite janky in comparison to something that's definitely pre-built, electric, or whatever. But this is the way I like a thing. This is the way I like things. I like things just pretty darn DIY. I like gas motors. I like these particular gas motors, and that's partly why I jumped on it, because it's a GC powered kayak, and these motors on this platform, I love this style of motor. I really do. And they run and they run, and they're super simple, and they're efficient on gas and everything. The propeller housing works better than you'd think, although I will say a new belt eventually would be nice, and definitely something built down here to kind of at least keep it from hitting the propeller as easily. Because of course this is a pretty low point, and the prop being the lowest point at the very back is not great, obviously. Well, while I'm in the shadow, you can look at the scenery. That's this video, and I will see you in the next video.